Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome. This is Paper Swan Presents.
Episode
4.
Thanks for watching with us.
Yeah, this is going to be a really great episode. One of my really good friends is in the studio. His name's Julian Cassia. He's an incredible multi-instrumentalist, producer, arranger. He's here. He's going to talk to us. He's going to play some songs. It's going to be awesome.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah,
he's a fun
he really
guy.
is.
Also, Spirit Family Reunion. If you have not been paying attention to them, check out this episode.
Check them out.
We
Start
went to the
paying
studio
attention.
with them. They're a great band. Keep your eyes peeled.
We've also got some highlights from our Paper Swan Presents premiere party that we had on April 3rd at the Jalopy Theater in Red Hook.
Yeah.
A wonderful institution, a lot of amazing musicians that we'd love to work with.
Tons.
So
It's true.
it's going to be an exciting show. It's going to be great.
Let's get the show on the road.
Stay tuned.
as
Check
they
it out.
say.
Paper Swan.
All right, and we are here with Julian Cassia. Julian, thank you for coming on the show.
For sure.
So Julian, you're a film composer. How did you get into that, and what do you love the most about film scoring?
Growing up, I was very interested in a wide array of different musics because they all have different textures and different things that they can offer. Film composers tend to be those kind of character types that are very interested in all sorts of music and interested in writing and learning all these different types of musics that are out there in the world that are. I mean, there's an enormous amount. I mean, Tibetan singing, Buddhist monks, and like all the way to Mongolian, and the arabesque nature of certain Chinese music, which
Yeah,
you know,
I saw a film that you did Japanese music too, or Hawaiian.
Oh,
Japanese
it was like, yeah, that
Hawaiian.
was a film called Three Wheels by a director called Tony Way.
Whoa! Hey, careful, Wang! I almost fell, man.
No stand. No stand. No stand, please.
Hey, ladies, you want to ride? Yeah.
Trying to sort of capture the psychology of a certain type of music, certain type of harmony, and applying it to a film in order to assist the story, the narrative. So it's a musical narrative that's very interesting.
So film scoring has given you the opportunity to explore world music, music of all different genres,
For sure.
tons of instruments.
That's another thing I love playing since I was a kid. I didn't really particularly have any desire to restrict myself to one instrument. So I was learning a bunch of instruments at the time. I play clarinet recently, I picked up a cello, and I'm not brilliant at them, but you know, like I can
dabble.
I learn enough to be able to first of all commit them to recordings. And if I'm crappy, in that case I can commit them to record them and fix them. And also, most importantly, I learn enough to understand the nature of the instrument, which is really awesome in order to be able to write for them appropriately.
Let's talk a little bit about your band. You have a duo with a friend of yours
Yes.
from Lebanon.
Yes.
And that's called Semitic Genetic.
Yeah, so Semitic Genetic is a project that I started with Karim Choueri. I'd actually met him in England years ago. We just end up being really, really similar in terms of our characters. We're both jokers, so we have a good time there. But we also really like to approach lyrics in a similar kind of way. He's also one of those guys that really likes a wide diversity of music, so it's really awesome because we can pull all this stuff in there. And so we started this project that we're aiming to try and do shows in the Middle East and do shows in the States eventually. We released a record in August last year. We got a music video done by Xavier Bardadi, who's a really talented Lebanese animator.
So you have a music video. Maybe we could take a look at it.
Yeah, we should take a look at that video.
I've been meaning to say that you need to reshape not the lines in your face, but the way you escape all this pressure's away as your beauty's innate. Will it really reflect on the soul that you keep? You can get it if you want. Better look at your smile. Interest rate is not so great. It's a concept of love. Next time you look to the nose, it's slightly less alone. Botox and a chemical peel won't make you feel that you're real. Your breasts will need a rest from the silicone. They ain't real.
Wow, there's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on.
That's a great video. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. Where can we find
Pleasure.
more of your music, more of you?
Well, my official Julian website is juliancassiamusic.com. For the Semitic Genetic, right now we have a Bandcamp, so Semitic Genetic, and the facebook.com/Semitic Genetic.
Maybe you'll stick around and play a song. We
Sure.
would love that.
All right, I'd love that too.
All right, that's Julian. He's going to be on the show later. He's going to be performing and telling us his inspiration, so stick around for that. Right now, we hung out with Spirit Family Reunion down at their recording studio in Coney Island, so let's check it out.
Walking along the avenue, and I thought I might run into you, but you were not in my point of view. And you're gone, gone, gone.
Yeah, it'll be our second like full-length album that we'll be putting out. Yeah, it feels good, like trying to make a record that's like that sounds good and is nice to listen to.
But you're not there. You are out of sight. You're gone, gone, gone.
You know, there's something like special about capturing something when it's young, you know? So putting some new sounds and some new approaches on the record for the first time that we're doing it in the studio. Hopefully there's a youthness, is that a word?
Yeah.
A youthness? There's a young, fresh thing about it, you know? I think that's what's exciting about trying new stuff, you know?
And I jumped into the water to drown. I came up and you were not around. The world turns gray.
It's definitely an expansion on this record. There's going to be 4 lead vocalists on the record. A song that Maggie wrote, a song that me and Steven wrote together, an old cowboy song that Pete is singing. So, you know, apparently you're supposed to grow and expand.
We
So that's
didn't
what
know
we're-
that 5 years, and now we're like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do.
Similar eyes on a familiar face. They'll never return what the time has erased.
Me and Nick, when we first started, we used to play with a bunch of different people every time. And we'd have a different band name every time we did it. Didn't matter. And then one time it was Spirit Family Reunion. And then the next time Nick also had them put Spirit Family Reunion. So just like, right? Like that was that's part of it, right?
hasn't changed.
You're gone, gone, gone.
All right, so this is my studio. As you can see, it's rather well set up for producing, all that kind of thing. Bunch of keyboards and gear and God knows what. So here I'm going to show you how I, for instance, put in a guitar solo for these tracks that I do. So I'm going to play with the headphones so you hear what I'm doing, and then we'll play it back and you hear how it sounds. Here you go. So that's the solo, guitar section, middle eighth solo, where you can see.
We're dropped into the sludge to trudge our way across this swamp of dreams. We'll choke if we don't swim and drown if we get stuck onto the heap of tangled bones like a road below. Oh yeah, you eat all sorts of shit. You sweat, you bleed, you feed on all the grit. Get wise to all the tricks, fend off the crooked goons. Erupt onto the floor, evacuate your corpse. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. Big whoop, you've chipped your teeth. You've been jolted by surprise. You feel qualified to cope. Many thoughts have fucked your mind. Don't be a pussy. A lump of stress, an ugly mess caught in the pus. A cankerous pessimist. When you bust out of your demise, you fortify your stride, strengthen your spine. Reclaim the wasted time, incinerate the grime. Erase the blank stains, don't fucking compromise. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. Exchange your soul for a disguise, made like a pantomime who's blind. All your inactions is a crime. And don't push your luck, you're out of time. Oh, 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 oh. Don't push your luck, you're out of time. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and load, exploding to a mode of raving mad desire. Painted eyes, tethered mind, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and load. We got a lock and load. Painted eyes, tethered minds, purified, intertwined. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and, we got a lock and, we got a lock and load, explode. Painted mind, tethered minds, intertwined, purified. Lucid dreams will materialize. We got a lock and. There you go.
Ain't alright, go right to my beat store. Ain't alright, go right to
So then forget the answer. My heart's a dancer, dancing to the music. Come of the bar.
Ain't it funny how time itself can get in the way? It can all add up, it can weigh us down. It knows our name, it knows the ways I can try and feel close to you. And I keep on trying, I don't know what else
I went to the store. I forgot what I came for. Gotta get off that weed.
You feel that you can't make it. Work ahead, work ahead, work ahead, work ahead. Everybody's got to eat shit sometime. Work ahead every single day. If even only just a little bit. Don't take it too personally. 'Cause everything's a struggle till the day that they put you in the grave. So work ahead and hold. Keep your soul on the goal.
Julian, thank you for joining us, man.
A pleasure.
Excellent song before. I really
Thank you.
like that.
Thank
Really
you very
like
much.
that. We're going to talk about some of your influences now.
Okay.
So let's pop right into them.
This is Django Reinhardt.
Django.
Django,
Okay.
that's right,
The
that's
three-finger guitarist. Three fingers?
Two fingers.
Two fingers.
He lost. It's actually insane, this story, because he was a gypsy from France. His wife got pissed off for some reason when he was 18, because that's what happened. Set fire to the caravan, and as a result, it screwed up his hand.
Oh my God.
At the time, so he ended up having a hand that kind of looked a little bit like this, with mobility between these two fingers. So he'd do chords like this, and he'd play around. So he's a bit of an inspiration for guitarists. But I'd say more importantly than just the fact that like it's amazing and virtuistic and all that kind of stuff, is that he wrote fantastic songs, and he had an immediate sense of composition.
I wanna love you every day and every night.
All these people that are really important to me are primarily, before being fantastic performers, they're great writers. And I'm transfixed by Bob Marley's songs when they come on.
The message.
There's the message component of it, which was quite huge with Bob Marley. But his writing was so infectious. I mean, when some of his beats come on, it just grips your ear. And so it really...
You just start dancing.
You really do, you really do.
Totally.
And that reggae kind of thing, and there's also a connection between Django Reinhardt and reggae.
Okay.
That there's that
the
a
strong
lot
upbeat.
is on the upbeat.
Okay.
Which is reggae.
Very
You know,
cool.
it's all on the
I've
upbeat,
never
and
made
it kind
that- I've
of
never
it tends
made
to
that
lift.
parallel.
And they're both musics that I find really awesome in the way that they can be very joyous without being cheesy.
Okay.
And there's music that can be very joyous, and you're like, that's a bit cheesy. Whereas with their stuff, there's always some gravitas to what they're doing, which is really, I think, very poignant, and it can capture you. Even the cynics of the world can sort of connect to it, which is quite impressive, really.
Yeah.
You know? Being from the Middle East and not being able to go back to Lebanon so much, we'd go to Abu Dhabi, which was before Dubai was really hip and happening and cool and groovy like Williamsburg. We'd go to Abu Dhabi, and they had these tapes that they'd sell, which were stamped with original. They were copies.
Oh, okay.
And my first one was Nirvana. Nirvana, again, like a massive thing about them is that even though they were a bunch of young scallywags They were up to their own thing, and they didn't really necessarily realize that they were fantastic writers. Again, Kurt Cobain was a fantastic writer, as well as Dave
And
Grohl.
all of them went on to,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, first 2 records of Dave Grohl afterwards, for me, are amazing records.
incredible. Yeah, really incredible.
And also really good arrangers. Kurt Cobain would put his voice in a place that would really shine, and the bass would be in the right place, and all this kind of stuff. All these things that are pretty guttural, and you can really feel them on a guttural level. They did fantastically well. It was a really strong band in that way. So that's Yann Tiersin.
Now, who is this?
So
I
Yann
haven't heard of this
Tiersin
guy
is most
before.
famously known for the music that he did for Amélie. So Amélie
I
Poulain.
do love the soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's an amazing
okay.
soundtrack.
It's awesome.
And again,
yeah.
fantastic writing.
And it sets the tone for the whole movie. It's
Absolutely.
very melancholy, but okay.
It's got melancholy to it. It's got nostalgia. It's got romance. It's got a sensuality. It's got the French thing. There are all the codings that you need for that movie to sort of place it and sort of narrate the story musically. And I've been listening to that records for a long time. I've also listened to some of his other records, like the Goodbye Lenin soundtrack.
Okay.
Not as much. I really love the Amélie soundtrack.
Yeah, but he has some other stuff out there that we could check out.
He's got a bunch.
Yeah.
And he's a film composer, so it's like there's quite a variety. This is Milan Kundera, who is my favorite author. He's a groovy guy.
Awesome. And what did he write? What was sort of most...
Well, I mean, when you ask me
about
about influences, like I figured like I'd talk about some lyrical influences, which I feel that lyrically, when I approach a lyric, I like, and it's a way that you might approach a lyric, but I like observation. I love the human condition and seeing how people function and the motivations behind people, motivation behind people's actions and why they might do things. And Milan Kundera is a fantastic human observer. If you peel through his pages, you'll find a wealth of observation on how people function. And I tend to agree with him.
Yeah,
The most
get that
famous
nature.
book is The Unbearable Lightness of Being. The Unbearable Lightness of Being. But I also really like the joke.
Okay.
So he really influenced my general way of thinking,
Awesome.
and I find it's an interesting thing to talk about Milan Kundera, as much as other artists, I suppose.
And writers can influence, film, and
But
film
it's
can
huge, yeah.
influence music, and I love it.
This was based on the true
Thank
story.
you so much for
Thank you,
joining us
Travis.
today. This has been great.
Yeah,
And,
fun times.
Yeah,
Groovy.
appreciate it. Hit it.
Woo!
Yeah.
We got
Thanks
through
for
another
watching.
one.
did it.
That was really
awesome.
fun. That was
wow.
an episode
Very nice.
full of really fun
There's such good
stuff.
music. It's great.
I love Julian's style, man. He's
Julian's
really,
great. Spirit Family.
What are those chords he's
I don't
playing?
know.
No
He's
idea.
got some awesome chords
really
and
wild.
awesome diddle ways of doing his music.
If any of you guys would like to tune into some more of this stuff or send it to your mom or your uncle, you can go on to paperswan.com, and that's where you can also find out about our events that we're throwing and a lot of other things like that.
A lot of videos that we've done previously, really fun stuff, like the same kind of stuff you're seeing on here. And if you're interested in being a part of any of those shows or want to make a video or want to hang out, you can email swan@paperswan.com. We would love to hear from you.
Love to hear from you.
That's
Thanks,
right.
everyone. Have a good night.